Good afternoon. Can you remember fights that you've had with your friends? Maybe you had one just recently, a disagreement that didn't end well. You both yelled at each other, you both muttered things under your breath that you hoped the other didn't hear, but really you kind of wanted them to hear it. You stalked away from each other, you slammed doors, maybe you rolled your eyes at each other. You can remember fights that you had with your friends at home and during the summertime, maybe on the playground, across the street. You can remember that there was disagreements and there was a lot of shouting and there was a lot of anger. And hopefully you were able to repair those relationships, but you know that it wasn't always easy. Sometimes you had to swallow your pride. Sometimes you had to just swallow the fact that you were probably in the wrong to begin with. When we fight with friends, when we fight with anybody, when we disagree with them, it can leave us lost. It can leave us feeling like we're empty because this is a person that we care about. This is a person that we want to be close to. And yet closeness and proximity can lead to those kinds of disagreements. Can you imagine what our relationship would be like with God? That if we were falling into sin and we were disobeying Him as much as we do, can you imagine the disagreements and the fights that we would get into with God? And how would that relationship get repaired? It seems like it would be almost impossible to do. This is what it says, Proverbs chapter 18, verse 19. A brother who has been wronged is harder to regain than a strong city, and disputes are like a bar across the gate of a citadel. Those are some pretty strong terms there. Bars across the gates than a strong city, harder to regain than a strong city, a city that has set itself up, fortified itself so that it can't be captured. That's almost impossible. That's the kind of relationship that you and I have with God, and we don't have a way to get past it. We don't have a way from our side to get into that city, to get close to God. It has to be God who rescues us. And God has. He rescues you through Jesus. He sent His own Son to repair that relationship so that we are let in. We are brought past the gates. We are brought back into a relationship with God. And since that has happened between us and God, it can happen with our friends and our family and those that we're close to here. Does it take a lot of work? Absolutely. Are we going to have to swallow some of our own pride? Absolutely we will. Are we going to have to ask for forgiveness and maybe extend forgiveness too? Yes. It can be done. It's difficult. But when we focus on what God has done for us, then we know it can happen with others. Until we see each other again, the Lord's blessings on your day.